What's up, YouTube? Tim Movies here. Now, of course, this year there is a lot to keep your eye out for. Obviously, 2022 has been really good, with the releases of stuff like, Top Gun Maverick, Elvis, the Batman on. But, but of course, the next couple months looks very promising as well. So, I'm going to be doing my top 20, not 10, my top 20 anticipated films coming out the rest of the year. And you can chime down which films you're most excited to see for the rest of the year, too. All right, here we are. All right, coming in at number 20, I'm going to go with White Noise. Now, this just had its world premiere at the Venice Film Festival, which had a stand-minute ovation, which really fascinating there. Now, this is directed by Noah Baumbach. It is, of course, his follow-up to Marriage Story, which I thought was really decent. And the trailer for this looked really promising. Now, if you guys don't know much about the story, it is based on a book directed by Noah Baumbach, starring on the likes of you literally got Adam Driver, Greg Gerwig, Jodie Turner-Smith, Don Cheadle, and even Andre 3000 in this. So, got an interesting cast there. Here's what this is about. College professor Jack Glennie and his family's comfortable suburban life is upended when a nearby chemical leak causes the airborne toxic event, releasing a noxious black cloud over the region that forces the Glennie family to evacuate. So, if you really want to look at it, this is pretty much Noah Baumbach's first ever sci-fi film. Could be interesting to see. I mean, he has directed some really great movies over the years, whether it's Squid and the Whale, whether it's the Marvel stories, Marriage Story. So I'm looking forward to see where his next film is going to take, and this looks intriguing. All right, coming in at number 19 is a film I'll probably just watch once and maybe not again because the story of this is really, it's just tragic. But my number 19 pick is, of course, the film Till. Now, I'm not really going to go too much details because just reading the what this is about is very just heartbreaking. But of course, it is about the story of what happened to Emmett Till back in the 50s, and the trailer for this thing looks very intense. I mean, it of course has Danelle Deadwaller who was in The Harder They Fall, which I thought was really decent, and the kid the kid playing Till looks really good, great too. You also got like Whoopi Goldberg's also in this. I mean, we did technically saw a story about this just recent, which was the woman in the movement, which was more about the movement and stuff like that. But looks like this is more about this will focus more on the story, what happened, and this looks just tragic. I mean, it looks really intense, but this is just like gonna be those movies such as let's say Schindler's List or maybe United 93, where you can just watch once, but you can't watch it again, especially because the subject matter surrounding this, and I'm really intrigued to see how they're gonna how. Now it is also from the same director Clemency, which I thought was really good. So hopefully this could be decent as well. All right, number 18, I'm gonna go with Roald Dahl's Matilda. Now, of course, this is based on the classic story by Roald Dahl. Um, there was a 1994 film, was it 94 or 95, one and two, that was directed by Danny DeVito. Murray Wilson was also in that one. This is actually more based on the musical of the same name instead. And the trailer for this that got released not so long ago was fit was fantastic. I mean, does look a little bit like a carbon copy of of the Danny DeVito one, but it looks so great. I mean, for one, Netflix has been killing with its musical genres between stuff like The Prom, Tick Tick Boom, most recent 13. The music was pretty good, so I'm definitely looking forward to see where they. I'm definitely interested to check out the next musical, and this looks really cool. I mean, come on, you literally got Emma Thompson as Trunchbull. What more you guys for there? All right. Coming in at number 17, this is another film that just got a standing ovation, and it's getting lots of Oscar buzz. And this is the film Women Talking. Now, this film is actually directed by Sarah Polley, and features an interesting cast that includes Rooney Mara, Jesse Buckley, Frances McDormand, Claire Foy, and by the way, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Just want to wrap that around right now. Now it's about women in an isolated religious colony struggling to recover their faith after a series of assaults. And this is of course being released by MGM. It looks really like I haven't seen a trailer, but just like mostly photos and stuff. They haven't really dropped the trailer yet, but from what I've heard, this thing is it has Oscars written over it. It definitely has tons of Oscar buzz. I mean, great cast here. I mean, this looks like it could be a sleeper hit of the year. So hopefully it'll be decent. All right. Number 16, I'm of course going with Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry Darling. Now, despite the whole controversy surrounding it and everything, this does look really good. I mean, after seeing, Booksmart a few years ago, I'm excited to check out Olivia Wilde's direct, follow up. And of course, this does star Florence Pugh. You got Chris Pine, Harry Styles is also in this. Nick Crow, it looks so great in this one. Looks very trippy. Looks intense. I mean, sign me up with this one. Who doesn't love? Who does not love Olivia Wilde? Other than Jason Statham and Shia LaBeouf, but that's a different story. Anyway, all right, number 15. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here, because they're both technically the same movies. Really technically the same story, I should say. But I'm adding them just in one frame, and that is the Pinocchio movies we got coming out this year. First up, we do got the Robert Zemeckis Pinocchio film, which comes out literally this week on Disney Plus, and we also got the Guillermo del Toro directed one coming to Netflix. So I would have actually separated them out a little bit, but you know what? Almost said Robert Rodriguez. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez Pinocchio sounds awesome, but the Robert Zemeckis one just comes out this week, so it makes a little sense to add this a little bit here. But yeah, I still don't know which one I'm more excited for. I mean, from the looks of this one, this actually looks like from the looks of the Zemeckis one, looks like it's more of a retelling of the Disney classic, but the Del Toro one looks like it's gonna be more of a homage to the storybook here, because let's be real, the Pinocchio books is more terrifying than the Disney version. So yeah, but come on, in the Del Toro one, you got literally Ewan McGregor voicing Jiminy Cricket, uh, and along with the Zemeckis one, you got Tom Hanks as Geppetto, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jiminy Cricket. I don't know which one's gonna be better, but I'm excited for both. All right. Number 14, I'm of course going with a film that should have been out, that been talked about since the day I was born, and that is of course Black Adam. Or I'm being facetious, but it seems like this movie has been literally just like the Flash. This movie has been in the pipeline seriously for a while, and crazy to believe this will be the last DC movie of the year. By the way. That's right. With of course Shazam being pushed back, The Flash no longer coming out this year, Batgirl, who knows if that's ever going to come out. This is technically the last DC movie coming this year. So just wrap your heads around that one right now. But hey, I'm glad David Zaslav did not can this, because he would not have the guts to cancel a Dwayne The Rock Johnson film. Let's refer all that right now. I mean, Batgirl is one thing, but canceling a Dwayne Johnson film, yeah, that will not work at all. But I am definitely excited for this. You got Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. This looks super fun. I'm a big Dwayne Johnson fan, so I'm excited to check this one out when it premieres. All right, coming in at number 13, I'm gonna go with Wendell Wild. Now, of course, this is a new stop motion animated film, which, by the way, are we really seeing the return of the stop motion genre? I'm between this, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I mean, man, A Nightmare Before Christmas sounds dry right now. But this movie is, of course, from the same director of Nightmare Before Christmas. It features the voice of Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele. The trailer for this, they didn't really release a full trailer, but they just released a little teaser not so long ago. And this does look really cool. I mean, of course, Henry Selick has also done stuff like James John Peach, Coraline, which I believe was his last film, if I'm not mistaken. So seeing him come back to a full front with a new stop motion film should be interesting. You also got really cool voice talents here too. Like you got Ving Rhames, Angela Bassett also in this. James Wong's also in this. Who does not love James Wong? I mean, I'm really excited to see where they're gonna take this thing to. It's coming to this and Netflix, so that should be interesting. All right, number 12. I'm gonna go with the Whitney Houston biopic. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Now, I'm still wondering when we're gonna get a trailer for this thing. I'm thinking maybe when The Woman King comes out. That sounds just right. I mean, this they've been having the posters for this film literally hung up in my ears since May. So odd we still haven't got a trailer yet. Usually we're seeing posters hang up in movie theaters and we still don't have a trailer for that yet. So yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to check this one out. I mean, of course, Whitney Houston obviously was a living legend and seeing like a new now they did do a biopic about her, like Angela Bassett directed that one. But I guess it's gonna be focusing more on. I guess this will be focusing more on her life as well. You got the kid from Moonlight playing Bob Brown. That should be interesting. Naomi Aki, who was of course in Star Wars: The Last Jedi, she is playing Houston. Stanley Tucci is playing Clive Davis, I believe. So I'm looking forward to check this one out. I mean, but between lots of music biopics we've been getting, like the Elvis biopic, of course, Bohemian Rhapsody was terrific, Rocketman. We're really in like ever since Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, we've been getting music biopics beforehand, but ever since Bohemian Rhapsody came out and became a smash hit, uh, we've been getting like lots more music biopics down the line. Like we're supposed to be getting a Michael Jackson biopic down the line. There's that Bee Gees biopic we're getting. So yeah, we're really in the majority of getting lots of biopics here. So hey, I always do love a good music biopic, and hopefully, I want to dance with somebody. Will be it. All right, number 11. I'm gonna go with Armageddon Time, which, by the way, the poster for this thing dropped, and the poster looks awesome. Now, Armageddon Time is directed by James Gray, who's directed movies like his last movie was Ad Astra, which was not so good. But he's also put out some other movies like We Own the Night, I believe he put out. He's done some other stuff here and there. He did The Yards years ago too. So yeah, this is supposed to be like pretty much his Belfast here. I mean, I'm not trying to get political here, but the movie does feature Jessica Chastain playing Donald Trump's sister, so that's interesting. We do got Anthony. That's supposed to be a film that takes place like in the 80s and is supposed to focus like pretty much inspired by James Gray's childhood, similar to Kenneth Branagh's Belfast in a way. And it's like a coming of age story about the strength of family and generational pursuit of the American dream. Now, this of course premiered at I believe the Cannes Film Festival with about 90% of Rotten Tomatoes, so this could be interesting to see. Belfast was so good last year, so I mean, ever since like it's really cool seeing directors really do movies about the childhood. Like I'm gonna be talking about another film about director's childhood, pretty soon. But yeah, something about these type of stories is all right. Number 10. Now here are 10 to 1. All right, my number 10 anticipated film of the rest of the year is Amsterdam. I mean, Amsterdam, of course, is directed by David O. Russell, who's put out movies like Civilized Playbook, Joy, American Hustle. He's put out some terrific films over the years. And the cast for this thing is insane. Let me pull up some of the cast list. I already mentioned the cast here before, but the cast is this is maybe one of the best casts I've ever seen put to film. All right. For one, it takes place in 1930s and it follows three friends who witness a murder and become suspect themselves and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. And the cast list here, hold on, let me pull this up. All right, it is of course being led by Christian Bell, and the cast members also includes Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Anna Taylor-Joy, Taylor Swift, Robert De Niro, Remy Malek, Chris Rock, Mike Myers. I mean, the list goes on and on. Such a terrific cast here. I mean, I know, of course, David Russell has been like a little controversy for some not so great stuff, but hey, this movie just looks super terrific. Great cast. Hopefully, it won't be a disappointment. All right, number 9. I'm of course going with Halloween Ends. Like the last Halloween movie was not really a fan favorite to most people. but I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. The end moment, I still consider the end moment of that, the final act of Halloween Kills, with like Mike Myers taking down the mom, to be one of the best, one of the most fun final act I've had at the movies since the battle scene in Endgame. That's how great it was. So I'm looking forward to see how they're gonna end this. I mean, is Jamie Lee Curtis? Is she gonna die in this one? Who knows? Are we? Will this actually be the final Halloween film? Let's be real. Like John Carpenter and even Blumhouse has says that there could be a good chance we might actually get more Halloweens down the line. So could we get more Halloween movies in the future? Who knows? But all I know is I'm excited for this new Halloween film. The trailer looked decent, and come on, you can't go wrong with John Carpenter's score here. So I'm excited for this one. All right. Number 8, I'm gonna go with Bros. Now I know this movie is getting lots of hate for some obvious reasons. Like there is a pro agenda of folks that will say that this movie is all woke and everything, which is that word woke is like if I had time for every time I hear people say that something's woke, I'm gonna be your millionaire, all right? But Bros, I'm excited for this thing. For one, it is of course directed by Nick Costello, who's directed the Neighbors movies. He's done Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I've always liked his work. And you also have Billy Eichner, who I've always been a fan on Billy on the Street. Of course, he's done stuff like Parks and Rec. He was in Neighbors too. He was Timon in The Lion King. And this is, of course, the first major studio to feature a LGBTQ cast, which that is getting lots of that. That's the one thing that a lot of people are hanging about. But I don't care. I mean, I'm sure as they come, and I'm excited for this thing. This is literally my anticipated comedy of the year. Now that stuff like the Blow got released, but I'm excited for this thing. It looks fun. It looks really raunchy. I mean, come on, you even got Harvey Frosting supposed to be featuring this. You got Deborah Messing popping up in this, so hopefully it'll be decent. All right, number 7, I'm gonna go with Glass Onion, a Knives Out story. Now, a Knives Out mystery. I'm at. Now, the first Knives Out, let's be real, was one of my favorite movies of the year got released. I had a fun time with it. Great cast, and of course, you got Daniel Craig coming back here. You got some new additions like Dave Bautista. You got Janelle Monáe. You got who else? Ed Norton. Kate Hudson's supposed to be in this. The girl from that Outer Banks show, Outer Limits. What is it called? Outer Banks, I think it's called. She's also in this. So got some really cool cast members in this. So I'm definitely excited for this. Cool that it's going both theaters and Netflix. So that's interesting to see. All right, number 6. I'm gonna go with another biopic coming out, and we of course got Blonde. Now, this is of course like a semi biopic about Marilyn Monroe. It's an NC-17 film, so there's that. Now, I know this movie is getting a lot of controversy because of Ana de Armas, who's I can't remember what country she's from. I think she's from Spain or something like that. And of course, she does use her accent, and you could really hear it in the trailer that her accent does come out. I know that's getting a little controversy and everything, but I am excited for this. Like Ana de Armas looks terrific as Marilyn Monroe. You've got Bobby Cannavale in this. You've got who else in this? I believe Adrian Rose also in this. You got some really cool cast members. So, directed by Edgy Dominic, who has not really directed a feature-length film since 2012's Killing Them Softly with Brad Pitt. So that's cool. So I'm excited to see where they can take this thing to. I mean, Ana de Armas looks so terrific as Marilyn. Well, let's be fair. Ana de Armas looks great in this anything. All right. Number 5. Another film that got standing ovation, and that is The Whale. Now, The Whale is directed by Darren Aronofsky, who, sad to say, has not directed a movie I liked since Black Swan. Yeah, like what was that Jeff Lawrence film he did? That was terrible. Then he did Noah, which wasn't all that bad, but was a little underwhelming. And so he has a new movie coming out called The Whale, which has Brendan Fraser, and you know what? This also got really standing ovation at I believe Venice it was, and early critics are literally saying that Brendan Fraser is a front runner to not even get nominated to actually win the Oscar. This is literally going to be like a wrestler level comeback for Brendan Fraser. Now, if you guys don't know much about the story here, here's what it's about. Church, suffering from severe obesity, attempts to reconnect with his estranged teen daughter, played by Sadie Singh, for you Stranger Things fans, for one last time at a chance at redemption. So I'm getting more of a wrestler vibe than a Black Swan vibe, which is pretty cool. I love the wrestler. So I'm looking forward to check this one out. Brendan Fraser looks awesome in this. Brendan Fraser has also been in the entertainment business for years. Whether it's like Casino Man, whether it's the Mummy franchise. So seeing Brendan Fraser really poised to make a great comeback should be interesting to see. So this could be decent. And I've been hearing some good stuff. So hopefully I'll end up enjoying it. It's A24, so who knows? A24 makes some of the best stuff. All right. Coming in at number 4, I'm going to go with Avatar: The Way of the Water. Now, of course, the re-release does come out this month too. And Avatar: The Way of the Water, let's be real, it's literally been about, I believe about 12 years since the last Avatar film. So, yeah, this should be interesting to see the return to Pandora. The trailer